Hello and welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricket Buzz Live. It has been the World Cup of boating the last few days because just been water everywhere. Pani phir gaya sab cheez par. But today it will not be because today the reigning champions are there. Therefore there will be no reigning. Okay, I'm done with those jokes now. I'm Gaurav Kapoor. With me, Robin Uttapa and Zahir Khan. If you gentlemen have any to get out of your system about the rain, please do it right now.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
You're enjoying it?
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I have a few more.
Good couple of days off, nice, relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the last few days have been a watershed moment for this tournament. Yeah, it's been the Umbrella Cup. That's it, I'm done. I really should stop now. Okay, so of course, Australia playing Pakistan today, the reigning champions, Australia. And the news from the centre is that the toss was won by Sarfaraz. Pakistan have decided that they are going to bowl first. So interesting team news as well coming from both sides. But first, let's just talk about the weather. And let's talk about the fact that because of the rain, Pakistan have now not played a game for, 9 days now, Zach? 9 days they've not played a game.
They will be touch disappointed with that because when you win a match and win against opponent like England, you would want to continue that momentum. I know that word you don't really like, but that's something which always works in cricket. When things are when things are going for you, you make the most of it. So early you play, better it is for you. Just in terms of confidence, get those processes going. Everyone could have just built from that. Now
and gone into the Sri Lanka game as favourites. Sorry, just to add, with all due respect, but gone into the Sri Lanka game definitely as favourites, and that's the one that got rained out.
And now they have to restart that. Looking at the conditions, but both the teams have left their spinners. So Zampa is not there, Shadab Khan is also not there. So that is an interesting one for this particular match. For me, I want to see how that wicket plays.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because we saw the wicket and they said that it sort of had this green, but Robin, so many times this green is just fake green.
Well, yeah, it generally is, but looking at, both the teams have left their spinners out, they must believe that there's something in that wicket, and hence they've gone with, all fast bowlers. Literally, they have all fast bowlers and not regular spinners, not full-time spinners, but, Mohammad Hafiz and Glenn Maxwell can bowl a little bit of off-spin. So, if in case the wicket doesn't do as much, then they can go to those guys.
Yeah, they've basically, they've chopped their legs off. Like both of them don't have their leggy. And it's probably because it's been raining the last few days. I mean, basically England has been taunting us with the rain, but today in Taunton there will be no rain. I promise I'm done now. That's it. That was the last one. That's it. I'm done. Out of my system. But it's quite interesting because in the shorter format, leg spinners have really come into their own with white balls. So for both teams leaving it out, they're obviously seeing something that you can't tell on the television screen. But there you go, just a 20% chance of rain. But I don't know, Zach, man, you've played so much in England, right? This 20% chance of rain also in England is, for me, a worrying thing.
You really don't want to work today, do you?
No, but the thing is, if it rains, it becomes more work. It's like you got nothing to talk about. It's like, let's talk about...
we got plenty to talk about. You say, what do you want to talk about?
Actually, what am I saying? All of us have plenty to talk about. We could do a 2-hour show just on the rain. Because this World Cup is basically being downloaded straight to the cloud. Oh, God, I got to stop.
It's actually a good sign because if World Cup is played in England and we are not talking about weather, then there is something amiss.
That's right. Yeah. You're so right. It's such a British thing to do, right?
Yeah.
To talk about the weather. Yeah. So, I mean, you'll see more and more of this. Teams could, normally you say teams win the toss and they bat first. But when it rains like this and conditions are a little helpful, no surprise that they would choose to bowl first, Zach. Because if there's something in the pitch, you're going to get it in the first 10 overs.
Absolutely. And looks like there's enough for the bowlers, especially seam bowlers, to be happy about from this wicket for sure. Looking at the combinations as well. So that first half an hour will be interesting to see what kind of surface is on offer today. On the whole, Pakistan will be happy that they're bowling first because if at all if there is a lot of help in the wicket, then Pakistan, I don't think would have been wanting to bat first anyways.
Yeah.
So had Australia won the toss, then it would have been a very tough match for Pakistan. But now because they won the toss, they can actually take the confidence from the previous game, even though it was a week, 10 days back. They can still continue with that here. Amir has been amongst the wickets, so that's something which he'll be looking at these conditions and saying that okay, fine, take it to the next level. Shaheen Afridi has been brought back, so we all have been talking about that he should have been in the first playing 11, but nonetheless now he's got that opportunity of creating that impact on the game. So it'll be interesting to see who they start with.
And he knows these conditions, by the way. Mohammad
think
Amir,
Amir,
after his ban, came to play, and he was playing here at Somerset. He was playing at Taunton. So he knows these conditions. He liked this slight overcast kind of situation because it helps the bowlers. And he could actually help them get those 2 points because the Australia batting is a little vulnerable after losing to India just a few days ago. Robin, how much of that do you carry? I mean, I know you're dressed as an Aussie supporter today, but those batsmen, how much of that would they carry into this? And especially the opening batsman, because Finch has got to forget about that game where he had that run out and think of how well he's done against Pakistan in the last few months.
Well, I don't think Finch should be overtly worried about his performance in the last game because he was batting really well until that run out happened.
Yeah.
So I think what he may be wary about in the first 5 overs is that in swinger that kind of gets him LBW. So that probably would be the only thing that's on the back of his mind, to make sure that he sees off that first 7 overs so that the shine's gone off the new ball. But outside of that, I think they'd be a little concerned about losing wickets early on to Pakistan, because with Pakistan and their unpredictability, you never know what they can come out there and do.
Yeah.
And they've got pretty good fast bowlers in their lineup. They've got guys who bring the ball back in, take it away from the left-hander. So, I think they can be a really dangerous side, given that they're actually bowling first.
Yeah, they are bowling first. Let's have a look at the points table before we look at the teams. What is the importance of this game? The importance of getting the 2 points. No, they don't want 1 point each. If Pakistan gets those 2 points, and look how close it's become. I know it's only early days, but if you think about it, 30% of the tournament is done. Actually, when you're playing 9 games and you've played 3 or 4, that's 33% of your tournament done. They can catapult themselves into second position, can Pakistan, if they win today. And if Australia wins, they go into first position, right? Because their net run rate is obviously not going to drop, right? And then Australia is at 4 points. They'd go at 6. They're at, sorry. No, I thought New Zealand is at 0.2. They're at 2 points.
2 points.
Sorry. So they'd go into second. So both teams can effectively go into second position.
Correct.
If they win.
Yep.
So stakes are high.
Stakes are pretty high, of course they are. But hopefully everyone would want a full game here today. Not just us. I think even the players out there would want a full game. I definitely think the conditions there, the overcast conditions there, will play a huge factor. And also the fact that the covers weren't taken off over the last couple of days because of the rain there would mean that the fast bowlers will be there to get a lot of purchase out of that wicket.
Okay, before we show you the 2 teams, I want you to make your team as well. You can make your My 11 Circle team. How do you do that? Just download the app. Yes, you know the score. Absolutely. Choose the game that's being played today. That's Australia-Pakistan. Australia-Pakistan. That's my Bill Laurie impression. It's Pakistan, you're going to win, it's Pakistan. And of course, you can beat Dada. If you can beat Dada, you get 5 times more the cash on My 11 Circle. So make your team right now. It's not an easy team to make because both teams have some amazing champion players. So just be careful when you do that. Let's show you the 11 that the 2 teams have picked to go into the game today. Pakistan, of course, is going to be bowling first. Let's have a look at their team. They've got Shaheen Shah Afridi into the team. So they have decided that they're going to go with a little bit of pace and add it to a lot more of pace and some more pace. And of course, have dropped the leggy here.
So 3 left armers and Hassan Ali. So Hassan Ali, I think, will be coming in later. They'll start possibly with Mohammad Amir and Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Yep.
He gets that extra bounce as well, Afridi. So that's something, and presents a very good seam position as well. Has got that extra bounce and the ball coming back into the right hander. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about it.
Him against Finch for sure, because Finch doesn't like
Warner
the ball coming in.
And Warner as well, because if as a left armer you're taking that ball away with the extra bounce, you've seen that Warner getting out in that gully point region. So that's something will be interesting battle to see how it goes. But on the whole, I must tell you that this surface Taunton is not known for predominantly a seaming surface or anything of that sort. Predominantly, it's usually being a batting friendly
Small
kind of
small
surface.
boundaries.
Yeah, small
Shorter,
boundaries.
yeah.
You've seen in domestic county championship also there's been a lot of runs scored, and usually batsmen have made some kind of impact. You see there from their pros as well. When you look at county championships, you'll see what kind of pros they usually go for.
Yeah.
And the professional cricketers they've been signing usually has been spinners. So
Yeah.
that's something which Murli Karthik also has
Yeah.
presented.
Ian Botham and Viv Richards both played for Somerset, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I've gone
hope-
a little back in history, but yeah,
I hope then that tactically both the teams have made that call. So there has to be enough for them to rule out that other side and decide that okay, it's going to be a seamer friendly condition.
Yeah, of course, Pakistan Pacers have done really well. Wahab Riaz, of course, had a very good game against England, picked up those wickets. Mohammad Amir has 5. Wahab Riaz got those 3 wickets. I think he got all 3 against England there.
He did.
Hassan Ali yet not made the impact as of now. But I also want to come back to, you spoke, of course, about the Pakistan Pacers. I want to come back to the Australian opening batsman. Because Warner's been slightly circumspect to begin with, right? So, you're not getting the aggression from him in those top 7-8 overs, which means probably that responsibility falls on Finch. Or will Finch just say, doesn't matter, let's play how India did, 10 overs, don't lose a wicket, get 5 and over if you do, and then launch.
Well, yeah, that could be one way of going. The other way of going would be, let me just play my natural game.
Yeah.
His natural game is to take the attack to the bowlers after seeing off the first 3 or 4 overs. So he could go back to doing that as well.
That's Finch.
Yeah, that's Finch.
Yeah.
But given how Warner's not finding his rhythm, so to speak,
Yeah.
he's not catching his rhythm as we would call it. And I think if that's going to impact him in today's game as well, because it changes from game to game.
Yeah.
One day you might just not have it at all. The next day you go into the ground, you defend one ball and suddenly feel like everything's right in the world.
Yeah.
So that can happen, and that could be today for David Warner.
Yeah, so there's also, of course, Australia So Australia and Pakistan in World Cups have been fairly level. But since the last World Cup to now, it's just been Australia all the way. I mean, I think Pakistan's won just 1 game. Yeah, there you go. Since the last game, they've just won the 1 game. In this tournament, in the World Cup, of course, it's been fairly level. But in 2019, now remember, this is Australia going to the UAE. So subcontinental conditions, effectively, right? And beating Pakistan 5-0. But then again, I don't know, Zach, you'll tell us, how much does sort of pre-tournament form, it's a different conditions, different country, 3 months later.
Different squad as well, different playing 11.
Yeah.
But psychologically, still Australia would have that edge. There is no doubt about it. If you won against someone so convincingly, and that's what the numbers are showing. It's pretty much been one-sided battle. So that's something which Australia will certainly take the confidence from. And from Pakistan side, I think coming in this World Cup, they're not at all looking at what they've done so far leading up. That's one thing for sure, and that team has capability of ignoring what the numbers are saying and going out there and performing to shock everyone who is watching the game.
Yeah.
And that's why they've got that unpredictable tag.
I don't know how much they ignore the numbers or the numbers just ignore them. I think it's just that.
It doesn't matter as long as you're getting the result. It's fine.
Yeah, I think
which they
Pakistan
did against
focusing-
England.
It's like stats are looking at the Pakistan team and saying, nah, we have no effect over this. We have no effect over this side. They could have lost 40 matches in a row and today they will just thrash the opposition who could be the reigning champions, and it just doesn't matter. And that's the beauty of watching this Pakistan team play, because
absolutely.
it's like Forrest Gump said about a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how you replied like Forrest Gump as well. Let's just quickly look at the Australia team, because the big problem for them, Marcus Stoinis is not available because of a side strain. So therefore, they've gone in with this change. They've got Sean Marsh in for Marcus Stoinis, a batter for an all-rounder, and they've got Kane Richardson in place of, which bowler have they left out? Zampa, sorry, not the spinner. They're not playing the spinner as well. So they've got it. So that's taken care of. But you'd come here and suddenly you're looking at, I need 10 overs out of Maxwell.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they do.
that's definitely not the right kind of balance.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about tough conditions for seamers. So if your seamers have not taken the wickets up front, and Maxwell had to give those 10 overs, unless we're going to see Finch rolling his arm over a bit, but that balance which we're talking about, they've certainly gone on the other side.
Yeah.
Than going in with someone who can. I mean, they could have easily got Kane Richardson. Looked at Coulter-Nile as all rounder.
Yeah.
Like how the similar kind of role what Stoinis was playing, and then have proper 5 bowlers. So that's something, maybe a little bit of worry for Australia going in this match.
Let's see, out of their squad, who have they left out right now? There's there's Stoinis who's injured. There's Behrendorff, of course, who is not playing. There's Zampan Lyon. Right. So those are the 4 players who are not playing.
Yeah.
If they didn't play Sean Marsh, you're saying, and we'll look at the 11 again. So let's just say, I mean, Zach is saying if you don't play Sean Marsh, you effectively play another bowler. So whoever, you can choose Lyon, Behrendorff, anyone, and we'll pull the 11 up again. That means you don't have Sean Marsh playing there. You move Alex Carey to 6, who played well in the last game. You move Coulter-Nile up to 7. No, let's look at the team because we know the players over here. We'll look at the team. So you have Alex Carey batting at 6.
Yeah.
You have Coulter-Nile playing at 7. And then 8, 9,
Pat
10,
Cummins,
11.
Yeah.
Right? You have and Pat Cummins can hit the ball as well, who moves up to 8.
Mitchell Stark can bat.
Mitchell Stark
I
at
think,
9.
I think
9 and
they've
10.
gone in with this playing 11 with a confidence that they're going to get Pakistan out.
Yeah.
So basically the thought process of the think tank is saying that, okay, fine, we have these 4 good bowlers who if the conditions are helping, they'll finish the game. So your 5th bowler need not bowl his quota of 10 overs.
Yeah.
So they're looking to get the team out in say 40 overs.
40, 45
interesting.
overs.
So that's the thought process they've gone in with.
Yeah.
But what if that doesn't happen? So that's something which is a cause of concern. And if Pakistan is looking at this lineup and saying that, okay, fine, we can target Maxwell's 10 overs. 10 overs we can actually get say 70, 75 runs, which is in modern day cricket you have seen bowlers going for pretty regularly. We just have to play out the other bowlers in a manner where somewhere between 3 to 4.5 runs per over.
Yeah.
So you're talking about still getting to a winning total on this kind of a surface.
And a small ground.
Yeah, because looking at the changes which teams have made, it's not a 300 kind of wicket.
Doesn't
there are
seem
enough,
like
enough.
But they've added a batsman.
indicators.
Australia's added a batsman, like a proper batsman, right? So now, you know what, when you were talking, I suddenly reminded of, and this is a real blast from the past. I don't know if any of you will remember it. Team of the 90s, it was called. India's team of the 90s that went to Australia. And there was one game where 4 pacers were played and there was no other bowler. I think there was a part-time bowler and India was pressing against Australia. There was Subrata Banerjee, Kapil Dev, Srinath. There was a 4th. 92, there was a 4th bowler who I can't remember, and India was pushing for the win and bowled out their pacers in 40 overs, and suddenly the 41st, I think, had to be bowled by Azhar or somebody like that, and Australia won in 41-42. Wow. This is what I'm going to do when the game begins. I'm going to Google this game, it's going to come back to me. I remember as a kid watching this and going, they have to get them out in 40 because there's nobody to bowl the 41st. Who's going to bowl it? Maybe the umpire will. Well, I think could be the same issue. Maybe Steve Smith could bowl an over 2. I know he's not bowled for a time. We've seen him in the nets. I think in some of the domestic practice games that he bowled, he was also...
He bowled in the practice games as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
He did. He picked up a couple of wickets. He did. So
I'm
he can
sure,
also bowl.
I'm sure someone is going to
Finch can also bowl a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be rotated among those 3 guys.
Yeah, but those are the ones that Pakistan will go after.
The bulk of the overs will be bowled by that 5th bowler. The bulk of the overs will be bowled by Maxwell for sure.
By Glenn Maxwell. Okay, so we've seen the surface, we've seen the teams. Now, for Australia, of course, there is that issue that you said of Finch and Warner right at the top. There was that run out in the last game. There are the conditions that you see. They've added another batsman. So therefore, you're looking at that and going, no, this is not a 300. Or if you're saying it's a run fest, which is what traditionally has happened at Taunton. Is it then tough? Is that why Aaron Finch wanted to bowl first as well? Because you're going, I'm a little confused about what the target to be set is. So, would that happen to Australia?
Not really. I mean, if that was the case, then the change in both the sides wouldn't have happened. Bringing in that extra seamer. So, extra seamer has been brought by both the teams looking at the conditions. So, it's actually a tactical change.
Yeah.
So that's something, which we'll have to wait and see. That's why. So if of all the matches, I think today is the match where you have to see
interesting.
first 6-7 overs how they're going. Australia definitely thinking that there is enough in the wicket, so we need extra batsmen, because on a flat track you need extra bowler. You know, on a flat track, that your fifth bowler to get 10 overs out is going to be a tough ask.
Yeah.
So that's something which they are not concerned about. So obviously they are concerned about batting. So they needed more protection there.
Yeah. And they got the protection actually in the last game from Alex Carey. Hit the fastest 50 in the World Cup so far against India. Obviously, it was at a losing cause. I mean, Carey couldn't carry the team to victory, but they've got that. So they'll take great confidence from the fact that they got runs out of Carey in one game, they got runs out of in two games actually, and they got runs out of Coulter Nile in one game.
Yeah, so definitely, I think just the fact the conditions in this ground or in this venue has played right up Australia's alley to play the side that they have played today. And I think definitely because there must be something in the wicket, they've gone with an extra batsman and gone with four fast bowlers and just one part-time off spinner. I think that's what they've looked to do, and that's what they thought would be the best thing to do. Otherwise, ideally, if they were playing on a flat track, I would have played Nathan Lyon instead of
Zampa.
No, including Zampa.
Oh, so two spinners.
Yeah, two spinners, and instead of Stoinis because he's injured.
Yeah.
And then Coulter Nile plays that all-rounders role at number 7, and then like the batting order we just discussed. And on a flat track that would be ideal because you have 5 bowlers, and then you have one part-time off spinner as your 6th option just in case one of those guys have an off day.
Yeah.
So that would be ideal. But I think based on the conditions here, what's happened over the last couple of days. It's been overcast, it's been raining, maybe the covers haven't been taken off. So I think that's what's led to the decision to play an extra batsman. Because Sean Marsh, you have to remember, is a number 3 batsman who comes in at number 3 and has scored a lot of runs for Australia at number 3 over the last 12 months. Scored 4 or 5 hundreds, if I'm not wrong, at number 3.
He's going to be batting at probably 5 today.
At 5 today. Now, how is that going to serve Australia is something that we'll have to wait and watch.
Another point is they have too many left-handers as well.
Which is probably why the leggy was dropped from Pakistan.
Yeah, so that's why I think they're saying, okay, Shoaib Malik and Hafiz will do the job for us. They will be able to.
And Shoaib Malik.
And Shadab is also a quickish kind of leg spinner. He's not someone who gives it air and who bowls slow through the air. Zampa can still do that a little better than probably Shadab can because of his style of run up and how he goes into bowl. But he's too quick through the air, so he probably won't get too much purchase off that wicket.
Pakistan obviously have a lot more bowling options, and with Shoaib Malik and Hafiz being there, they get the off spin out to left-handers. Look at it: Warner, Khwaja, Marsh, Alex Carey. They got 4 left-handers. Mitchell Stark coming down as well. But if it gets to Mitchell Stark, then Australia are in a bit of trouble, aren't they? They have more troubles than just off spin. All right, we've got the joy factor question coming up. What it is? Show it, come on. In December 2000, what award was won by Chris Scott that had never been won by a member of his profession before?
What? Who is Chris Scott? What? Sorry about that, but who is Chris Scott? Yesterday's question is pretty interesting. It was about you actually. Yesterday's question was about who got a five wicket haul in their last test that they played for in Test cricket.
Zahir Khan.
It was in New Zealand in 2014. Yeah, and funny you didn't play after that.
Long day it was.
Zahir Khan did. Because Robbie, of course, gave the answer away before the question. So, yeah. Okay,
sorry? You were very kicked with yourself that you gave the answer.
I'm just so happy. I'm just very happy when I can answer any question correctly. It happens very rarely with me. But this one I'll get right. Because this is for the My 11 Circle Expert Couch. I'm going to get this right. Australia batting first. In fact, I'm so confident about getting my guess correct that I'll let the two gentlemen
No, go first because you're so confident.
Should I go?
Yeah, go first. Yeah.
308.
Australia will score.
Yeah.
After discussing so much, you've come with that kind of prediction.
Yeah.
It's just defeated the whole purpose of the discussion.
Listen, I grew up in Delhi.
This is a classic case of, okay, everyone going there, I'm going to go this.
Exactly. See, I grew up in Delhi. So in Delhi, you do that. If the indicator is given to go left, we go right.
In Delhi, what do they call this?
What?
Tukka.
I'm a Tukka expert only. But I see that basically Zahir is just taking some time because he's going, where are my best chances?
240.
What we call
240, I'm clear. 240.
I'm 260.
240?
Yeah.
260?
Yeah.
a small ground here today. You see, there'll be sixes.
That's why there'll be that much of a score. Really, because it's I feel the overcast conditions will play. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. 308.
Yeah. It's going to be that. All right, we're going to see you at the end of the 15th over on CricBuzz Combox. Right now is all we have time for. Send us your answers for the Joy Factor question on Twitter, hashtag CricBuzz Live. That's our handle. And if you want to put your guesses down as well, you're not going to get the My 11 Circle Expert Couch, but I will send you a picture of me sitting on it after I win. At the end of 50 overs. Well, that's all we have on My 11 Circle presents CricBuzz Live. See ya later, alligator.